I really didn't know what to think. Petrified, worried, puzzled. I could feel the bubbles of the boat getting closer and closer. Help! I shouted. My mother was screaming at me to go the different way, although I wanted to be with my dad. The terrifying boat, which was getting closer, quicker, were now chasing the males. I hoped my dad would be okay, but then as I came up for air, I noticed that something was flying above us. As soon as I realised what it was, an aircraft. I went below to water, warning my mum. I felt the bubbles of the boat again, coming closer as well. I felt hurt as the people threw net bombs and harpoons and pouring oil into the water to try and herd us in. As we were swimming, I saw it come to a dead end. I realised we would be captured. Suddenly, a net was thrown over me, and I was raised quickly above the water as my dad appeared, and they were bobbing above the water, squeaking softly at me, saying it would be okay, but I didn't think it would. I was trying with all my might to escape. It wouldn't work.
The terrorists came fast, one upon the other. Terrified, horrified, perplexed, I could hear loud, horrifying bangs getting louder. Help! I bellowed. Suddenly my mum thought of a plan to divide the males west and the mums and children north. I go with it. The boats that scouted the men were no longer in sight. This was very worrying. We were under the water holding my breath. I was under the water holding my breath. It was hard, very hard. I suddenly popped out of the water. No! I could hear shouting and screaming getting louder. I shivered and hugged my mum. Suddenly, we were trapped. All of a sudden, I couldn't move. I had a tear in my eye. My mum, my life, where was I going? Suddenly, I realised my life was gone.
The terrorists came fast, one upon another, horrified, petrified, confused. A worrying sound of a noisy engine with the smell of petrol explosions made me doze off. "Daddy!" I shrieked. Finally, my mum came up with an excellent plan to escape. The boats which followed the males were no longer at us. Holding our breath as long as I can't hold it though. Suddenly, we were trapped in a dead end, and my mum sang a soft song to calm me down. Soon I was taken away in a huge net that my brothers and sisters were trapped in. We were screaming, shouting for our mum. We were transported to different parks where they kept us in captivity. I was feeling extremely worried. I was crying to my mum. I was crying to my mum in my head. "Help me." She told me to be nice to the disturbing humans, so I'll be set free or given some yummy food more often. But I was being treated like a doll, being scraped here and there and everywhere. I wasn't fed every day. I desperately needed my mum. I smelt the smoke from the city outside that put me into a daze. I heard the laughing of the humans. I saw their faces looking cruelly at me. I was only allowed to go in certain places. It was terrifying.
At first, the boat noises were quiet. I could feel the bubbles from behind me. The sound of the boat engines were getting closer. Horrified, scared, confused. At that moment, I saw my father move away, but my mother was always beside me. The boats which followed my father were nowhere to be seen. We were swimming so fast and trying so hard to hold my breath for longer, but it was too late. I was now gagging for a breath, and I pleaded my mum. It was a big mistake. 1 minute I was there with my mum and dad, and now I'm stuck in a small room with nothing, no one but a stranger. Why?
The terrors came fast, one upon another, pushed, perplexed, bullied. A long way away, sound of boat engines came closer and closer. The smell of gas in the air made me dizzy. "Help!" I shouted, thinking as fast as my mother could. We need a plan to get away. The boats followed the males so we could get away. The boats that were following the males were no longer in sight. I really couldn't get away. I really couldn't hold my breath. We continued to swim. Then I had Then I had come up for fresh air, but suddenly we were spotted, so the speedboats cornered us. I was shouting and screaming. I could not get out. I didn't give up.
The terrors came fast upon another. Surprised, scared, puzzled, a vivid sound of boat engine came closer and closer. Help! I screeched. Suddenly my mother came up with a plan and advised all the males. The boats that were chasing the whales were no longer inside. I carried on holding my breath until I could not hold it any longer. I could smell the stinkiness of the bomb. Suddenly, the aircraft caught us and we all got trapped. Soon the males were set free. I was so petrified. Then we took the wrong way and we got trapped between land and boats. After they took all the small ones, only one thing was good. I wasn't alone. I felt so petrified that they would kill me, but then I knew they were separating us. I tried to barge out, but it was no use. After they took me to a nasty place where I get bullied every day, and they wouldn't give me food unless I perform Please Save Me and all the others.
The terrors came fast, one upon another. Puzzled, scared, terrified, a far-away sound, the boat's engines of screeching came to my ears. It came closer and closer. The smell of petrol explosions left me dazed. Help! I shouted. The next moment, my mother set a plan to separate and send the males as a division so we could make a getaway. The boats that chased the males were no longer in sight. Without breathing, we continued to swim and swim until I couldn't hold it any longer. I tried my best to hold my breath. My heart started pumping really fast. I really needed some air, really bad. So I shouted to my mum. I popped my nose out of the water, but they saw me. We were trapped from a net and a wall.
Terrors came fast, one upon another. We were swimming for our lives. I was petrified. My mum looked at me from a distance. Help! I cried. Rapidly, my mother glanced at me and said the signal to hold our breath for as long as we could. The rapid boats which followed my father were no longer in sight. We swam and swam for as long as we could. The aircraft was hovering over us, but we didn't know. Imagine being separated by your family. Imagine never seeing your family again. Imagine stuck with orcas you don't even know. The aircraft spotted us. We were done for. They got us into a corner, but we tried to get out. They picked me out. I squealed to my mum and dad. It was no use. I started to cry. Mum said it would be okay, but it wasn't.
The terrors came fast, one upon another. I was scared, hopeless. I could hear bombs getting closer and closer. The smell of petrol, of explosions, left me dazed. Help! I shouted. Suddenly, my mother thought of a plan to separate and send the males as a division, so we could make an exit. And the boats that chased my mother, dad, and his friends, we're no longer in sight. We were trying to hold our breath, but I had to hold my breath, but I couldn't.
couldn't hold it any longer. I popped up. Wait, what's that? I gasped. They've got a plane. They've got a plane out. They trapped us. I was so scared. I was communicating to my mum. Is it going to be all right?
The terrorists came fast and settled quick. I could smell the smoke coming off of the bomb that now humans thrown in to injure me. Puzzled, horrified, terrorised, I kept on swimming for my life. Suddenly, the second bomb struck again. My mum came up with a plan to split us up and the males get followed by the boats. The boats that were following the males were not beside us anymore. Mum squealed, "Hold your breath, we're going under." We held our breath and went under. I couldn't hold my breath any longer. I had to let go. I let go. Before I knew it, I was caught and being transported across the world.
The terrorists came fast, one upon another, frightened, surprised. A faraway sound of a boat engine came closer and closer. The smell of petrol explosions left me dazed. "Please help quickly, quickly!" My mother made a fast plan to separate and send the meals as a diversion so we could make an escape. The boats that kept going near the meal were no longer in sight. Suddenly we continued to swim and swim until I couldn't hold it any longer, and all of the babies went the other direction, and so the boat kept following the small babies. After that they threw nets in the deep water and bombs. So then the nets went up and then captured the babies, and then they sent them to the place where they do all the shows.
The terrorists came fast upon another, puzzled, angry, distraught. A faraway sound of a boat engine come closer and closer. The smell of petrol explosion was me dazzled. "Help!" I yelled quickly. My mother knew a plan to separate and send the males the other way so we could make a dash for it. The males went one way, we went the other with our babies. So our breath was running out. We could not hold it any longer. My mother was yelling at me to do it, to keep my breath. But we just had to come up to the surface and breathe. And then we heard something. A loud bang! And then all of a sudden, we saw an engine coming closer and closer. The boats were. No, the boats. No, the planes. They were attracting the boat's attention. We had to go under for more longer. The boats coming closer and closer. We suspected they'd kill us, but no, we realised they came to capture us. Our babies were really happy because they didn't know what was going on. But then, all of a sudden, out of the gloom, a fish came up. We ate it. That just kept us under for more longer. We had to hunt for food as well as survive the evil boats. All of a sudden, nets came down. We were separated from our mothers and dads. The males were banging against the net to try and get us free. But they made a little hole but too small for us to go through. We had been caught, the whales. We had been captured forever.
The terrors came fast, one up at another. Puzzled, scared, terrified. A close sound of a boat engine came around us. "Help!" I yelled. Straight away, my mother had got a plan.
a plan to separate and send the males as a diversion so we could make a getaway. The boats that put oil bombs in the sea, but they were no longer in sight. We continued to swim and swim. Before I needed to breathe, we could all breathe, but suddenly we could hear an engine over our heads, but it was a plane. We all started to swim as fast as we could, but they told the boat to come to us, and then we got a net thrown over us. I got captured, so I cried out to my mum. My mum cried out to me as well. She said to me, you will be fine.
The terrors came fast, one upon another. Puzzled, scared, terrified, a faraway sound of a boat engine came closer and closer. The smell of petrol explosions left me dazed. "Help!" I shouted. That next moment my mother set a plan to separate and send the males as a diversion. So we could make a flee. The boats that chased the males were no longer in sight. Without breathing, we continued to swim and swim until we couldn't hold it any longer. I tried to do my best to hold my breath. I really needed some air, really bad. So I shouted to my mum. I popped my nose out of the water, but they saw me, and we were trapped from a net and a wall. That way they caught us.
I was swimming in a bay yesterday. I heard a boat engine, and then two. "Help!" I screeched. Out of the blue, a boat captured Dad, so I tried to go and get him back, but Mum wouldn't let me. All the whales, including me, split up. I wanted to get away, and I wish they didn't exist. We held our breath for life until the boats weren't detected by any of my senses. Amazingly, I heard the sounds of planes, then boats. They chased after us into a cove and picked us out, all of us small ones. I felt bewildered. My mum was frustrated, like my captured dad. My friends got carried by air. I woke up in a tiny room. I wanted to go home. I heard a sound going, "Knock it out!"